Hello, Tom here once again with another video again about this, which is my GPz305. Quite an unusual bike, not many of them around anymore. The only ones that I've really seen are on the internet, and they're in bits or they're being used as donor bikes. I have never ever seen one on the road, and prior to me buying this one, I didn't really have any interest, didn't really have a particular passion for these bikes. I didn't really know they existed, to be honest, but since buying this one, I've kind of gone down a little bit of a rabbit hole of trying to keep the one I own in as good condition as I possibly can. So that means maintenance, reading up on how to take care of the bike, and also finding out about the little sort of foibles, I suppose, that the bike has. They did have quite a bad press around the engine and one particular part of the engine, which is around the oil system. There's a particular cog inside the engine. I'll put some footage in here, which is plastic, which can wear and break. There's also an oil sort of filter pickup tube that's got like a bit of a gauze at the end, and for some reason Kawasaki thought that was a good idea to put in the bike, and if that gets clogged then it can actually ruin the engine. I have read several articles on this on the internet. There's relatively little information about the GPz305 online, to be honest. So I've become a bit of an expert over the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks of ownership of this bike. This one in particular has been fine for me. I've ridden it to work daily. I have started doing a little bit of maintenance on it and just wanting to keep it in tip-top condition as possible. So as I said earlier, I have done an oil change on it. I have cleaned out the filters, etc. And one thing I did note when I was playing around with the gear lever is that the belt on this bike had a rip in it. Now the belts for the GPZ are really hard to come by. You can't really buy them new anymore. You have to get them used from donor bikes, essentially, on eBay. There isn't even really a market for kind of fake versions. Like I know you can get a lot of fake Chinese parts for a lot of bikes, but there's no market really for these machines. So the only real option you've got is to find a used belt or one off a bike that is no longer being ridden, and that's essentially what happened for me, to be honest. I found a guy was selling a belt from his bike that it was a project bike essentially, but he just kind of decided to no longer bother with the project. So he was selling the parts of it from it off on eBay. I got the belt for £50. It's not in amazing condition, but it's in better condition than the one that was on the bike originally, which had a big rip in it. And again, I put some footage here so you can see that rip. So I've had that changed, and when I can't go past. When I took the bike to a garage to have the belt replaced, they also told me that the suspension on the back of the bike had blown, and that needs to be replaced. So I'll get that changed in the near future. Also, some bearings on the suspension needed to be replaced because they were in pretty bad condition as well. So it's not all roses in this garden, in this GPz305 shaped garden. I do need to get some things done to the bike, but for now it's fine. It's rideable. It's perfectly safe, perfectly fine. And yeah, so just going back to the suspension. It's called it. One of the selling points of this bike is that it's got a single suspension strut at the back, and I believe they call it the Unitrack system. And on a lot of bikes that have got two suspension. On my Royal Enfield, there are two suspension springs at the back, struts, whatever you want to call them. So it's quite easy to just jack the bike up, take one off, do one side, replace it, and then do the other side. But because this has only got the one strut in the middle, I don't really trust myself to do that because I'll probably end up cocking it up. So I need to get that changed as well. But other than that, once I've got that done, I don't think there's anything else I really need to do to it. It's in really great condition for the age of it, as I said in my previous video. So yeah, that's just an update really. I'm sure I'll put another one of these for the 4 people that watch these videos to view. But until next time, thanks for watching, and the GPz305 continues to ride on into the sunset. So see you on the next one.